What's going on, YouTube? This is Mag Dog TV. We back with another one. Now we have defensive coordinator Robert Livingston finally speaking after the fall camp. This is new defensive coordinator, so I'm very excited to hear how he feel from camp going into his first year with Colorado as far as on the defense side of the football. We did have former Coach Kelly, defensive coordinator, who I felt like couldn't make adjustments on the fly. So I'm very excited to hear Robert Livingston speak for the first time, man. And so let's see what he has to say. Also, shout out to Buffs TV. We are 2 days away from the game, man. I'm very excited.
You play 11 on 11. I can't say enough about the quarterbacks. Obviously, the two system last year, Wyoming was very similar. If you go back and look at it, I think 7 runs better than you anticipate, and I think 9 is a phenomenal athlete. So we got our hands full. Again, when they go make it 11 on 11, we got to tackle, we got to get off blocks, and we got to play fast. So again, can't talk enough about the culture that they watch those guys get off the ball, whether it's the ones or the threes and some of the blowouts. I mean, they had some hell of wins last year, and it's a consistent effort, right? So really phenomenal challenge that we're excited for.
Yes, they did have a very good year as far as North Dakota State, but they are an FCS team, which means they are a lower conference for a reason. Colorado is in the Big 12. Colorado is a team that's trying to win the Big 12 championship. Colorado is a team that's trying to go and win a natty. In the college playoffs, we're trying to get there. So we shouldn't struggle against North Dakota State. Regardless of how good they are in the FCS, they still are at a lower level than Colorado. So we should win this game by at least 3-4 touchdowns. I mean, I'm just being honest with my expectations of this football team.
Brian, go ahead. Coach, I don't know when you were William Mary, did you guys face an FCS team?
We did. The funny thing is I was these guys. My senior year at William & Mary, dirtbag average player, really just made 11 on the field. And we opened up in Virginia, and it was our Super Bowl. And in a lot of games I played, I'll never forget that one. A young man named B.W. Webb came in his first college game. He had 3 interceptions, and we won. So I know exactly what it's like to be on the other side. And it is, hey, burn the boats. We're coming hell or high water. So that's not lost on me because I was them. And so, again, it goes back to us being us and playing the game that we play.
So as a follow-up to that, I mean, because you've been through that, is that something you use this week? So guys, I know what it's like.
Yeah, that's how we started our week. Talk about it and just know what it is. I mean, dudes, we're going to get everybody's best shot. I mean, that's just that's college football, right? You're 1-0 each week, and everybody's going to be great. So, we got to strap it up, and we're expecting a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Not only is it college football, it's Colorado. That's why you're going to get the best from these football teams week after week. It's because of Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to play against Colorado. Everybody want to see what Colorado is all about. Everybody's talking about Colorado. You think these teams don't want to get a piece of that? You know what I'm saying? Get a piece of the social media. Get a piece of Coach Prime. All of this is all about Colorado. Colorado has this. I say this every single year. Every game Colorado gets in, it's a playoff game. You're going to get the best. You're going to get the team's best when you strap up week after week, man. So you have to be ready. But once again, as I said before, we should not struggle against this football team.
To kind of develop your defensive philosophy, who have you kind of leaned on or who have you kind of borrowed from over your career?
I mean, I got so many mentors. Marvin Lewis is a guy that I'll forever be indebted to. Mike Zimmer as well. Paul Gunther, Vance Joseph, Al Golden. I mean, the list goes on. So, again, I think we talked about this at length. Maybe you take a little bit of what Zim did, a little bit what Al did, and it's just about our guys, right? If we have a dominant front four that can rush the passer, then the coverage part should be easy. If we got to eat them up, then we got to do some other stuff that maybe Zim did. So, again, I wouldn't be here without those guys. I'm forever indebted to them and owe them many thanks.
1,000% correct. You guys got to also understand I'm giving you guys my reaction, so that's why I have to pause it under the fair use policy. But anyway, I feel like this is absolutely correct because a defense that can get to the quarterback and make him throw faster than what he want to do can a lot of times cause a lot of turnovers. It's not always about the secondary. It's about the front seven. It's about the defensive line. Can you get to the quarterback and force him to make reads that he don't want to make? That's what we need to do. That's what we couldn't do last season. We couldn't stop the run, and we couldn't stop the slants. You guys hear me say this every single time I talk about the defense because it frustrated me. I mean, these games was 9, 10 o'clock late at night. It didn't finish until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm in my Colorado gear talking about us not being able to stop the slant every night. That shit was very, very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Coach, going back to in terms of the preparation for North Dakota State, new coach, as you talked about,
Yep.
they also probably going to be coming at you with the power rushing attack. You know, it's not really what the offensive guys here are used to.
Yeah.
You feel like you're getting a good look in practice and able to replicate it kind of well enough to give you a good look.
Yeah, it's like anything. Nothing is ever good enough till you get to the first game, right? I mean, God bless our scout team guys, but they're looking at a card. To our assistant coaches' credit, they've been on top of this. We've been carding stuff. Again, it seems like we're watching 6 different teams, but we've been doing it every walkthrough. So there's time on task there. But like all first games, you're going to look up midway through the first quarter, start of the second quarter, and you say, okay, hey, this is what it is. And then you got to adapt and adjust. And it all goes back to putting our guys in position to be successful. And some calls might change. There's never huge in-game adjustments, but move some guys around and just let the guys go play fast and free.
Adapt and adjust on the fly. This right here has me very excited about this coach right here. Coach Prime brought the right man in. He understands you have to adapt and adjust during the game. You're not going to get it in practice. Colorado is a passing team. If we're facing somebody that like to run the football, you ain't going to see that in Colorado practices. Colorado don't run the ball. I don't care how good these guys look running the ball. They're not a running team. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to be able to stop these runs and these plays on the fly because everybody's not going to go 4 and 5 wide every time. You're going to have some teams like Arizona, that's going to run that proto-style type of offense, like Nebraska, and they're going to try to run it down your throat. You know what I'm saying?
Coach, just in terms of week 1, will it be like the spring game for Travis in the secondary in terms of how versatile they are moving around?
I think it's just by matchup. We'll have to wait and see. They got to come to the game to watch that one. So, again, we talked about it. Travis is unique in many ways. So, however we can get him on the field and do as many things as we can, we'll try to do it.
Jack, go ahead.
I'm just curious, your linebackers room, have you seen that room kind of morph throughout fall camp?
Yeah, there's been competition each day. Coach Hart. Guys want to play. That's the beauty of college football is only X amount of guys play. So I'm excited to see how when the lights come on Thursday night, I'm sure we'll have a bunch of packages and a bunch of different guys flying around, and they have put everything they have into it. So the football gods should bless them with a play or two.
Yeah, I do feel like the depth for this football team is very loaded for the defensive linebackers. Then there's some experience around this group. You have Levante Bentley leading this defensive group. Trevor Woods, all those guys, man, it's a lot of experience on this defense. Shiloh Sanders, not just speaking about linebacker, I'm talking about just overall. Travis Hunter. This football team has a lot of experience, man. A lot of these guys returned from last season. So, once again, I have very high hopes for this team, man.
A lot of the players have talked about their specific position coaches and how much they've meant to them. Coach Sherman talked about his connection with Shador. Do you have any individual players or a group of guys that you lean on or have a connection with?
I'm the one that loves all my kids, but I think just defensively, right? Leaders, who are they? Cam Silman Craig is just a phenomenal kid, phenomenal leader. Think the world of him. Shane Cokes up front is a guy who's been through the hard times here and has made it out on the other side. Trevor Riley Trevor Woods has done a great job, and the list goes on and on. So it means a lot for those guys that have stuck it out, that were here last year, and the newcomers have done a great job adapting to our culture.
Brian, go ahead. Coach, you being a first-time play caller, has it been a benefit to you going against Pat Shermer in practice, just being a long-time play caller on offense?
Yeah, I heard some of Pat's answer. I paid him a lot of money to say those good things, so I will have to pay that debt. It's the beauty of Pat is that you can see 3 different offenses, right? So obviously with Shador, you're going to see something. He can, hey, Pat, can I get some you talked about the different personnel groupings that we might see on Thursday night. Can I get some of this? Can I get some of that? He can just adapt and call it. So I lean on him a lot. He's obviously been in this seat. He knows what it's like. I can walk down there and knock on his door, and he's great. And then the head guy. The head guy is just phenomenal. I can't say enough about Coach Prime. If I have anything I need to question, hey, how would you defend this? He's right there. So we have a lot of people that I can lean on in this building, and staff included.
Key word is adapt. You know what I'm saying? Being able to adapt. I'm hearing that from him, and I'm also hearing that from him speaking about Pat Shermer, who also had an offensive coordinator with Colorado, was the offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, who was the offensive coordinator, who couldn't adapt. What I mean by that is going up 28-29 against Stanford in the first half. Second half, you're still throwing the ball as if you're down 29. Then they come back and they win the game. Being in position to get at least 3 points, but we throwing the ball, you know what I'm saying, and we causing a turnover. Being within 1 yard, you know what I'm saying, and we're throwing the ball when we can just run the ball with Dylan Edwards. There's just a lot of things that I can just say about Sean Lewis, both coordinators, you know what I'm saying, who's not there right now. Now we have new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinators that I feel like that understands it's all about adapting. That's all I've been saying, man. It's all about adapting.
You mentioned Trevor Woods. Obviously, you've only known him as a linebacker, but obviously he's come from playing safety. I mean, how have you seen those instincts from playing deeper in a defense translate? It seems like he's made a handful of plays. He mentioned too, he just feels like he's not getting noticed as much by the opposing offense. How much have you seen that kind of translate for him at the new position?
Yeah, I think the first thing is the ball skills, right? Thinking back to that early in camp, a couple great interceptions, spot over the ball, and everybody has been in a position where you make a change, right? So he goes from safety his whole life to playing linebacker, mid-year last year, embraces it this offseason, puts on a bunch of weight, and is just the kind of guy you want in your program. So excited for Trevor. Again, he's done it the right way. God knows he kills it every day. He gives everything he has. So just excited to see when the lights come on and see him play.
Go ahead, man.
Trevor is a hell of a football player. He's one of the guys that didn't flinch when Coach Prime came. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love me some Trevor. And his ball carrying skills is definitely great, man. He's known to create turnovers. He's known to enforce interceptions. We need that on the defense. We need turnovers. As good as our offense is, if we can get some turnovers, nobody going to beat us.
Coach, when Coach Prime met with you originally to discuss this position, obviously a huge move for you now that you're on the precipice of your first game. How has it lived up to the expectations?
Every step of the way. When we first talked about this, obviously I'm a first-time play caller, and it's not lost on me. He took a chance, and every day, he says something else to me that makes me. I'd run through a wall for the dude. He's given me this opportunity. I am forever indebted to him. I can't tell you how grateful I am to be here. My family loves it here. It's a phenomenal honor, and it's a blessing, one that I won't let down.
Excuse me if this is a silly question,
no, you're good.
But compared to starting an NFL season, is there maybe some extra juice starting a college season, or is it just all?
It's just different. You would have had 3 preseason games by now and a longer camp. I think we're all tired of hitting each other. We want to hit somebody else. It's just a different cycle. The preseason used to be starters don't play the first game, play some the second. You're trying to figure out who's getting cut, who's making the roster. So it's just different, right? No one's better than the other. But Thursday, it won't matter, right? It'll be here.
All right.
So my final thoughts, man, it was a very good video. I absolutely enjoyed this interview. I feel very confident after hearing Robert Livingston speaking, as we are within a couple of days away before the first football game. I feel like I can go to sleep knowing that he's going to make adjustments on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Which is very important because you can't see everything on film. When you scouting and watching your opposing team film, a lot of times it's not going to be exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? When you get in a football game, there's going to be some changes made on the fly based off of what you're doing and what you're seeing from both teams. So the fact that he understands this gives me a reason to smile, man. So make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Now I'm about to react to the offensive coordinator because he has to make adjustments on the fly as well. So I'm very excited to see if he can get it. If he can get it, I can sleep very well tonight knowing that both of these coordinators finally understand it's all about adjusting on the fly that our past offensive coordinator and defense coordinators didn't understand. And if you guys like the video, definitely subscribe to the channel. Peace.